Good evening, IWV. This is Ridgecrest Talk. I'm ClairAnn Herbert, and tonight we have Mike Lemming, who is the fair manager of the Desert Empire Fairgrounds.
That's correct.
Thank you for being with us tonight.
Well, thank you, Claire. I appreciate you inviting me in. I really do.
Absolutely. So, what would be really nice is to find out how you got into the position that you're in and where your interest was and perhaps how long.
Well, you know, I've been a resident of Ridgecrest in the Inland Valley for 40 years. I come here as a pretty young man, and I've just always loved the community. I just really have. I've tried to do as much as I can for the community, and I was in the actually I've had a number of businesses in town. I was in the financial services industry when the opening came up for the CEO position at the fairgrounds. And so I applied, and we were talking about it earlier about what transpired and everything, but I applied. And it originally started out as a state position, or as it would be a state employee with benefits and everything. Well,
before 3 years ago.
Yeah, exactly. Well, about 3.5 years ago. Yeah, it's when it's been that long. But at that time, the state had just notified all the fairs that the funding was going to end, probably within the next year or so. So the board of directors looked at the situation. Yeah, exactly. The board of directors looked at the situation, and they came back and said, Mike, you're one of 3 people that basically we are considering, and here's why it is. It's no longer going to be a state position. It's going to be essentially a 119-day position, and which means that I can only work 119 days or 1,000 hours a year, and that's it.
So now, did they give you the option to opt out at this point,
or
did they just say, hey, this is what's happening, and you're here?
They gave me the option. They said, we would like you to come aboard, but here's the way it is, and here's why. And so my wife and I sat down, we looked at it, and we decided, well, you know what, we didn't totally go into this with just the money and the benefits in mind. We wanted, you know, we're both of us
right,
are
the fact it was a state-ran business.
Exactly, and we have a heart for the community, and so we wanted to be involved. And with my background, I had a financial background, insurance background, business ownership and management, and plus I had also been involved in the entertainment industry. So, of course, I was looking forward to the entertainment aspect and everything. And growing up in the San Joaquin Valley in Bakersfield, you know, I grew up on the farms and around horses and ranches and all that type of stuff. So it was just a natural for me.
Now, would you say, I know earlier we were just talking about Bakersfield being your first fair.
Yeah.
Was that something that was inspiring that you were like, oh, hey,
yeah, it was, because I always enjoyed going to the fair. And where we live, my dad he worked on farms, and we always lived around farms and everything, so it was just natural. And of course, growing up in Bakersfield, you know, the music scene over there, you know, so that was just natural. It was second nature to me. So it was just something that we knew it was going to take a lot of work, especially without the funding, and so we knew it was going to be a lot of work, but it's something that I felt and my wife felt like we really needed to go for and take on the challenge.
Right, and what better way than the fair?
Oh, yeah,
everybody
absolutely.
loves the fair.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Everybody loves the fair.
Right. So, further into the state funding, did they give you the reason behind it and how it came about? Yeah,
they did. You know, Governor Brown basically was looking for ways to cut the budget. You know, initially cut the budget for funding for schools and for public services and all that type of stuff. Initially cut that, and they looked at the fairs. Of course, we have a lot of people that are out there working on our behalf, trying to explain to them, yeah, you're going to cut out $31 million out of the budget for fair funding, but the fairs actually, in reality, bring in over $130 million into the economy. So they're looking at this, and of course, a lot of times government, you know, they don't look at it from a business aspect. They look at it from a spending aspect. So they said, okay, and they give us forewarning and said,
We're
hey,
making a lot of money, but we don't want to give
exactly,
it back.
yeah. So they're thinking, I'm just assuming this, their thinking is, okay, yeah, you're bringing in bringing in $130 million, but even if we cut the $31 million, we're still probably going to bring in the $130 million. And that's how a lot of times government looks at it. Okay, and I understand where they're trying to and everything. So, you know.
And we kind of discussed how they're putting it back in the way of paying jobs rather than giving the money. So
yeah, exactly. So
I guess in a small way it helps out, but also it affects the rest of you, right? I mean, how did that affect everybody?
Well, it affected everybody because, like I was telling you, our budget for payroll is like $230-something thousand. That's what we were paying out. And what we've had to do is now our payroll is less than $100,000 a year. So what happens is your full-time people become part-time people, or 119-day employees, and so that affects them. You know, where they're not having as much money coming in. Of course, I can't keep, if we don't have full-time positions, then you have a tendency, you get good people in, they find a better job with benefits, and
it'd be hard to keep them around.
You have a tendency to lose them. But you know, it's a challenge. I've been very fortunate. I think I was telling you about the staff I have is amazing. They're just totally amazing. I mean, they just every day they just amaze me on how well a job they do, despite the fact that they know they're only part-time.
Right. And you also said that there was some good volunteers.
Oh yeah, we had volunteers. This year we have more volunteers for the fair than we've had in previous years, and that helps out a lot because a lot of people don't realize maybe you don't have the money to donate to the fair. You can help us financially by volunteering for the fair. So if you volunteer to pick up trash, or you volunteer to be a ticket taker, or whatever, that saves us money.
And what better way to get the community involved than to get it all prepared for the fair, so the kids and the adult kids.
Yeah, no, the adult kids.
Can have
exactly.
A good time.
Lots of us are adult kids, but so we just, the community has really stood up and helped us with volunteers and people volunteering, and they don't want to see the fairgrounds go away, because it is their fairgrounds.
No.
It started back in 1950. On where Home Depot is, on that corner there. And then Desert Empire Fair Incorporated bought the land in the early 70s. And then, so it's always been a community.
Well, if you don't mind holding that thought real quick, we're going to be right back. Stay tuned. We'll be back after this message. Welcome back, IWV. This is Ridgecrest Talk, and we have Mike Lemming, who is the fairground manager of the High Desert Fairgrounds.
Desert Empire Fairgrounds.
Desert Empire Fairgrounds. Sorry.
That's okay.
Now we're coming back into what we were talking about, the state funding and volunteers.
Sure.
Now, what would you say is the best way to get the community involved if they did want to be a part of it as a volunteer?
The best way to do is give us a call, and we can give you an idea of what we need volunteers for, or else you can stop in to the office and stop into the office and fill out a volunteer form.
Okay, and you also have a website, right? What is?
I knew this was going to happen.
Maybe we could get some water.
But anyway, the website is desertempirefair.com.
Okay.
And just go to the website, and there's a volunteer form on there that you can fill out and send it in to us.
Okay. And with the state funding ending, what are your plans on keeping your new revenue sources?
Well, it's basically, we're very fortunate in the fact that we have a RV park, okay, and that brings us in a number of, actually brings in a lot of income. And then we rent out our buildings, and that brings in income. So that gives us a steady stream as far as that's concerned. But we're always looking for looking for ways to raise money, to put in nonprofit organizations to help us out. You're very
Thank you,
kind.
Andrew.
You're very kind.
Very kind here at Ridgecrest.
I've been on TV probably about a dozen times in my life, but this is the first time.
No, you gotta. We're in the desert. It's a little dry here, so especially this time of year.
But
KZGN will take care of it.
That's right. Yeah, first-class organization. We love it. We're happy to have local TV too, back in Ridgecrest. But we have, what we're planning on, and I'm always open to things, that we can use as fundraisers. We've had Help Save the Fair concerts. We have one of the things that's become very popular at the fairgrounds has been our yard sales, our community yard sales. We usually have 2 or 3 of those a year, and we've done real well with those. So things like that. But
now, do those bring as much wind as the fair does?
No.
No.
And
I just said the 4-letter word. I'm sorry. The
but
W.
Here's the thing. One of the things I learned coming in as the CEO and now the manager is you can go on to weather.com and order good weather. I don't know.
Ooh.
Yes. Yeah. No charge. So I've already ordered.
We just need to get the whole community to give positive thoughts.
Yeah, exactly. But I've already ordered good weather.
Oh, good.
Oh, yeah. So we're fine.
Well, it's been just fantastic.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So it's I ordered 75 to 85 degrees without the W word. Yeah.
Perfect.
So we're fine.
Perfect. Sounds good. I'm looking forward to it. So with these revenue sources, would you say so you've got the yard sales and the bands.
Yeah.
Now, how do you come up with these? Does the fairground, do you have meetings and?
Well, we have, and something that people are always invited to come to. On our website, we post our committee meetings. We're always looking for somebody with our marketing committee. We're always looking for good ideas, and we have some good people on that committee. But with me being at the fairgrounds, and even though I have a pretty diverse background when it comes to marketing and everything, there's still things that I don't see. And as we get older, we also lose, I think we lose sight of some things maybe that the younger people, would like.
Right,
okay?
Right. Well, yeah, with the generation,
exactly.
You definitely have
So,
a wide generation.
What I would like is really input
right.
from younger people and saying, okay, what would you like to see at the fairgrounds? Because
that's a great idea.
Because I remember when I first came to Ridgecrest, I fell in that younger category, and it was hard a lot of times to find things to do for people my age. And so anyway, I'm always open to stuff. I mean, we're actually renting one of the buildings for professional wrestling that's going to happen in October. I've talked to someone. I'd love to get a roller derby team here.
Right.
So so we're thinking different ways to bring in. I'd love to have concerts. And I come from a country background, so a lot of times I lean more toward country, but I'm trying to work on some classic rock stuff, maybe some alternative, maybe some alternative country, maybe some punk metal stuff.
I know the perfect band for you.
Okay, good.
I'm in one.
Are you really? Well, there you go.
I'll go play. Yes, yes.
So, we're trying to just broaden the realm of entertainment, and so I don't know everything. I have contacts. I have a number of contacts in the industry. But I mean, there's always somebody out there that may be a draw that maybe I'm not aware of. So that's what we're trying to do. We're just trying to bring different things in. So I'm always open to different things. I'd love to have, I would really love to have a music festival.
Oh, that would be fun.
And I think it'd be great, at the fairgrounds.
Yeah, the concert that was just a couple weeks ago, that was great.
Yeah,
that
exactly.
was so fun having the blankets down.
Oh yeah, that was great. I love that. They did a great job. Yeah, Desert Community Orchestra did a great job on that. But I'd like to have a music festival with maybe some food vendors and things like that. But there's always a cost factor involved. Anytime that you have a headliner, you're going to pay extra for. But there may be some good bands out there that you may not pay as much, or maybe they'll donate their time. So I'd like to have a 2-day music festival that would basically have blues and rock and jazz and maybe some alternative rock, punk, whatever he did. You know, I'm open to all that.
I vote yes for that.
Yeah, absolutely.
For sure.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just a matter of getting the community to support it, and that's the main thing. And
Now,
finding the right
do you have
price.
like a suggestion box or on your website or anything for the wide range of
I
community
don't,
that we have out there?
but number one, my door is always open. I never close my door to anybody. So it's always open. We have a Facebook page. We have our website where you can send contact us that way. So we're always open. I always look at anything that I get on email, anything that comes on Facebook. I always look for that. So I mean, as far as having a suggestion box, we really don't. But
Right.
our suggestion box is Facebook.
All right, so we're going to go to a quick commercial break, but what I'd like to talk about at our last part is
Sure.
all the events
Okay.
and the upcoming fair that is
yeah.
coming to a town near you.
That's right.
Yes, so we'll be back right after this.
Great.
Welcome back, IWV. This is Ridgecrest Talk. I'm ClairAnn Herbert, and tonight we are back with Mike Lemming, the fair manager of the Desert Empire Fairgrounds. And we got a lot of good information about the state funding and the fairground itself. And now, what I would like to get out is the fair
All
that's
right.
coming.
Yeah.
Yay!
Yeah, fair's coming. Yeah.
So that is October 16th
through the 19th.
through the 19th.
Yeah. And we got a lot of good things going on. We're really excited about a number of things. You know, we have a lot of new food vendors. We're actually going to feature deep fried alligator this year.
Ooh,
yeah, so
yeah.
everybody's going to need. Of course, funnel cake and all that type of good stuff is there. We've got 3 nonprofit groups that are going to be out there. Of course, the Lions Club always has they have their pulled pork sandwich, and they have the pork ribs, and then we have the night burger, which if you go to our fair and don't have the night burger, you're in trouble.
Oh my
goodness. There's 2 things that I always have to eat at our fair: is a funnel cake and a night burger. And I have to try to find some room. Yeah,
Fritz just said, no doubt, no doubt.
So,
yeah,
and then of course the Lions Club, they have the ribs and everything, and then we have the Indian Wells Valley Youth softball that will have their hot dogs out there, and then we have a new local vendor this year. Victoria's is going to be out serving Mexican food, so we're excited about that. So, and then we have Tony Shaved Ice Shack and J&D Beef Jerky, the locals, and then all kinds of good food vendors, and we're going to have some new stuff out there. We have the Bubbles on Water.
Oh, what is that?
Well, you get in a bubble and you walk on water.
Oh.
Yeah, so it's great, and they're going to bring in a couple other things. We're going to have the bungee jump. We're going to have.
Now, is that for the community or is that for a demonstration?
No,
is that like a show?
You
so anybody can.
Oh yeah, you pay your money, you get in the bubble. They blow up the bubble, and you walk on water.
Walk on water.
Oh yeah,
that sounds fun.
So and then we're going to have, of course, the pony rides and have the petting zoo and
have a trash can right next to the gravitron. Make sure.
Exactly. Oh yeah.
A dumpster, perhaps.
Yeah, the dumpster. And we'll have the bull riding. We'll have that and.
Right. Speaking of the rodeo, we're going to have them next week, so we're going to get a lot of.
Exactly. So, but we're going to have the bull where you ride the bull. The electric bull ride.
8 seconds of holding on for dear life.
Yeah, exactly. And so we have lots of things for people to do, whether you're young or older or whatever. And of course we have Butler Amusements, which they're a carnival operator, very professional, award-winning, and they'll have all kinds of rides out there.
Now, where are they coming from?
Well, Butler Amusements actually is based out of Nevada. And they come, but they store all their equipment, and it's a very interesting story to how we got Butler Amusements. We're a small fair. They usually don't come to small fairs. They do the Bakersfield Kern County Fair. They do the Fresno Fair, the big Fresno Fair, and they do a number of other larger fairs. But they store their equipment in Indio. So when they get done with the big Fresno Fair, they drive right past Ridgecrest. and they
just couldn't resist.
They couldn't resist. That's right.
We're the biggest small town there is.
Exactly. So we was very fortunate in order to get them. So we got them, and we got the 2-day rodeo that we're really excited about. Opening up the fair is Marty Stewart, 5-time Grammy Award winner.
What kind of music does he do?
He's mainly known for country music, but he's from Philadelphia, Mississippi, so he's really into blues. He's into rock and roll. Used to be Johnny Cash's son-in-law.
Wow.
Yeah, so he has very diverse. He just got through releasing a brand new album that's really just skyrocketed, so he'll have that for sale. But Marty is, he's just a musical historian. I mean, he loves all types of music. He played on Johnny Cash's last album that he did down in Los Angeles. Played with guys like Tom Petty, Bob Dylan, all those people.
All
so
right.
I mean, he's very. I mean, if you go on and check out his bio on his website, it's just amazing. You know, but you know, he has his own TV show that he does Saturday and Sunday nights. So very diverse. A lot of hits, 5-time Grammys. I mean, we're not talking nominated.
Now, how did you get him to come here?
Well, divine intervention. I don't know. You know, it was a type of deal where I do have contacts in the industry. And Ridgecrest has a very vast history of musical history. You know, Merle Haggard used to hang out here, and back in the 80s, him and Merle are like this. And so, anyway, it just so happened that he was planning a California tour, and he needed 10 dates, and they had an opening for Thursday night, and that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to open up.
That's the opening of the fair.
Exactly. I want to open up the fair with a band.
Okay.
So we got talking back and forth, and he doesn't normally play small venues. And he doesn't usually play in smaller cities, but we got talking back and forth. And
we're just lucky like that.
Oh yeah, exactly. So it just so happens that they had Tuesday booked at a Indian casino down near San Diego. Wednesday's booked at the Roxy in Hollywood. And I said, okay, do you have an opening for Thursday? And he said, yes, we do. We went back and forth, negotiated the whole shot, reminded them that, hey, we're a small fair, and the whole shot. So,
well, it's great how things like that work out.
Yeah, exactly. And he's leaving Ridgecrest and going up to Fresno, going all the way down, and then coming back down, and then leaving. But that's how we did. You know, it just, I let him know, let's say, you know, Ridgecrest is a great town. We'll treat him right. We'll treat him like he's a king. We'll, you know, do everything possible, and then we'll have a great crowd, and he'll enjoy it. And he'll be playing in a hall that has hosted people like Merle Haggard and Toby Keith and Rick Nelson and, you know, Greg Kihn and all these people that have played in that hall. And so it intrigued him, and I think probably, and I'm not saying this is a case, I think Marty may have talked to Merle, and Merle may have told him, say, yeah, that used to be my hangout. So.
Well, perfect
so it's great, but they're looking forward to it. I mean, they really are. They're looking forward to it. Matter of fact, they're going to leave Hollywood early. They're going to actually get to Ridgecrest at 3 o'clock in the morning so they can be here early, and so they absorb the city and everything. So,
right.
Yeah.
Well,
so,
hopefully they get some rest in between that.
Oh, they will. They will. They will. But yeah, so you know, the fair has a lot of great things. This year we have a lot of great promotions. I know money's tight for a lot of people. And so Thursday night will be our senior citizens night. If you're 65 years old or over, you get in free. Friday night, the kids 12 and under get in free.
All right.
And then we have a promotion on Sunday where you get in free from 12 to 3 with a canned good or non-perishable item.
Perfect. Perfect. Yeah. I don't mean to cut this off.
That's okay.
I'm so sad. We could have gotten more information. We only have a half hour, and we're getting ready to wrap up. So thank you for being here with us tonight.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
And make sure, community, come out to the fair from the 16th to the 19th. And stay tuned for KZGN Monday through Friday news from 6 to 6:30. Ridgecrest Talk from 6 to 6:30 is Ridgecrest Talk. I'm all flustered. Sorry.
You're fine, though. You're doing great.
Have a good night. Thank you.